Test, test.
From Wantagh Lanes in Wantagh, New York, it's the NSCHSAA Boys Bowling Finals between the 1 seed Chaminade Flyers and the 2 seed St. Anthony's Friars. It's going to be a good one, and we are ready for it. I'm Thomas Gamba here with Tommy Baldacchino. And Tommy, there's been a huge buildup to this game. Chaminade won the championship last year, looking to repeat, but St. Anthony's coming into this one with a nice 8-1 win against Kellenberg yesterday. What does this buildup mean to this game, and what are you expecting from these two great bowling teams?
The buildup all season long. It's all led up to this very moment. We're here for the finals where all their hard work this season gets put to the test. As the players warming up in the practice lanes. Excuse me, we're getting started here.
So we are getting started. Chaminade starts off with a 9 from Alex Fiorillo on the A team, and Andrew Schwartz also with a 9 in the first frame. For the B side, that's Chris Erb with a strike to start it off, and Lucas Bridges with 8 pins down on his first throw. Here's Fiorillo looking to clean up the spare, and he does as he knocks down the 7 pin. So Chaminade with a spare to start it off.
Couldn't quite get that last pin to fall on his first shot, but rebounds nicely, knocking down that last pin for the spare. Starting off
Schwartz trying to get a spare of his own, and he's not able to pick the 10 pin.
Using that right to left spin to try to keep it out of the gutter, but a little too much spin goes left. As Calabrese's first shot knocks down 8.
On the B side for St. Anthony's, a spare for Bridges and a strike for Basse. So 2 straight strikes for Chaminade. As on the A side for Anthony's, Miniteris with a strike to end his first frame.
Calabrese unable to get that 3-10 split right there.
Cullinan for Chaminade gets the pins to fall. That's a strike, and Chaminade starts off the first frame with strikes from all their bowlers.
Yeah, the B team looking nice for the Flyers right now with 3 straight strikes. The A team struggling early on, but now Tufano, their best bowler to bowl. And he hits the first one down for a strike.
Tufano with a 279 in game 1 yesterday against Holy Trinity. Won the MVP last year, looking to do it again. Here's Dom Forte for the A team of St. Anthony's, and he cleans up his spare to end the first frame in the A match. Looking over to the B match, Anthony Mahoney with an 8 in his first frame for St. Anthony's. And Gavin Vladarchik with a strike as the B matchup ends the first frame. And for the A team in the second frame, that's Fiorillo with a strike for Chaminade. 8 pins down for Schwartz for St. Anthony's. And on the B side, Lucas Bridges with 8. He's going to have 2 pins left standing. As here on the A side for St. Anthony's, Schwartz cleans up with a spare as he knocks down the 9 and 10 pins.
Calabrese on the A lane, spinning that back toward the center. It gets the strike. Chris Erb for the Flyers can't get that last pin to fall. The 10 pin in that right corner is what Erb will need for the spare.
Here's Miniteris for St. Anthony's A team, and he starts it off with a 2-bagger for the Friars.
59-59 in the A lane. A very tightly contested match so far here at Wantagh Lanes.
Also in the B lane, 48-46 in favor of the Flyers, as on the A lane, Tufano with a strike. And he starts off with a 2-bagger as Erb cleans up his spare, knocking down the 10 pin. Here's Dom Forte for St. Anthony's A team, and that one just to the right of the 1-3 pocket. And 1 pin will be left standing on that ringer from Forte.
That looks to be the 8 pin in the back. Looking to knock that down is now for the Flyers. It's Basse. Can't knock down that last pin.
Forte looking to clean up the spare, and he does. knocking down that last pin. So Forte with 2 spares in 2 frames.
The Flyers with a 1-point lead in the A lane, 79-78.
And Schwartz for the A team of St. Anthony's, 7 pins there. Here's Fiorillo for Chaminade on the A lane. That one right on the nose. And 3 pins will be left standing. So 7 pins down in the 3rd frame for both Schwartz and Fiorillo. Here's Basse for Chaminade's B team looking to clean up his spare, and he will. That one right on the nose. The pin gets the job done. Here's Gavin Vladarchik for St. Anthony's, and he has a strike.
Fiorillo cleans up that spare. He's got a spare, strike, and a spare in his first 3 returns.
Here's Cullinan for the B team looking for a 2-bagger to start it off, and he will just miss it. That one in the 1-3 pocket, but a slow roller, and it will leave 1 pin standing, so Cullinan will look to not have an open frame.
Calabrese on the A lane, spinning back toward the center, just can't get those last 2 pins to fall. He'll have a 5 and an 8 pin left.
Here's Minotauris for St. Anthony's A team. That one right on the nose, and he's going to leave 2 pins standing in the right side of the lane.
90-76, the Fire B team leads St. Anthony's. In the A lane, the Flyers trailing by 3. It's 118-115.
As Minotauris cleans up his spare for the St. Anthony's A team. Here's Calabrese looking to do the same thing. His pins are on the left side, and that ball hooked just enough to get the job done. Today, as Basse for Chaminade's B knocks down 9 pins on his ringer. Here's Bridges looking to clean up his spare for St. Anthony's B team, and he will not. He misses the pin to the left. Here's Tufano, and he cleans up his spare as he knocks down the 10 pin, and that is the end of the 3rd frame. So Chaminade leads 148-142 in the A matchup, and in the B matchup, they lead 128-94. Here's Schwartz for St. Anthony's A team, and he gets a strike to go. That one close to the nose, but he got the job done. And the benefit of the doubt, he starts with a strike as Fiorillo, 9 pins for Chaminade's A team.
166-152 in the A lane for the Flyers. Fiorillo looking to clean up his spare on his 2nd shot, got 9 in the 1st one.
Here's Anthony Mahoney for St. Anthony's B team, and he knocks down 1 pin, so he's going to have a 9 in the 3rd frame for Chaminade's A. Fiorillo cannot convert the spare, and he will have an open frame. For the B team of St. Anthony's, Gavin Vladarchik with 9 pins, leaving the 7. Here's Calabrese for Chaminade. That one hooking to the left, and he's got the 1-3 pocket. That's a strike for Calabrese. His 2nd on the day. 49 pins so far for Calabrese, the senior. And Chaminade leads the A matchup 186-164 as Minotauris combats with a spare. And Vladarchik for St. Anthony's B also gets a spare. Here's Tufano for Chaminade's A. And he is going to have a strike as he gets that last pin to knock down the 10. And he has 3 strikes out of 4 frames. Here's Forte for St. Anthony's A, and he has 9 pins.
Forte with 1 pin to clean up for the spare. Excuse me. Forte with 1 pin to clean up for the spare. That's that 9 pin in the back. Let's see if he can get it here. Throws a one-handed shot, right hand, spinning back toward it, and he knocks it down for the spare.
Here's Schwartz for St. Anthony's A team. That one on the nose, and he is going to leave 1 pin standing, the 3 pin there Chance
Fiorello
for a spare.
for the Flyers. A-Lane hits the center but can't quite get that right pin. That's the 10 pin in the back. Can't knock it down. He'll have 1 pin left.
So both Schwartz and Fiorillo with 9 pins knocked down. Here's Herb for Chaminade's B team, and he will have a spare. And now here's Anthony Mahoney trying to do the same thing. He can't convert the split on the right side, so he'll get 9 pins. Here's Fiorillo also trying to complete the spare, and he does.
Good job.
Anthony Schwartz also did for St. Anthony's A team.
Good job by Fiorello to keep that, to have that right to left spin to keep that ball out of the gutter and convert on the spare. Is now a tough split coming up for Basse.
And on the A side for St. Anthony's, Minotauris with another strike. That's 3 on the day for him, as Calabrese is going to have a split of his own, 2 pins on each side. So going to be a tough split to convert, as Chaminade in a tied affair in the A matchup. In the B matchup, they lead by 8 pins, 183 to 175. Here's Forte for St. Anthony's, holding the follow through and getting the strike as he knocks down the 10 pin at the last second. Here's Basse for Chaminade's B, looking to convert that split, and he'll just pick the left side pin as he will get 9. Calabrese is not able to get any other pins down, so he will have a gutter ball, and that's 6 in his frame. For St. Anthony's B team, Gavin Vlodarchik knocks down a couple pins and gets a spare. And Cullinan for Chaminade's B gets 9, leaving the 7 pin.
Here's Stefano on the A lane. 1 pin left. He's got that 8 pin. I'll stand up there.
So the score update, 248 to 246 in favor of St. Anthony's. Chaminade leads the B matchup 202 to 177. Stefano looking to keep his streak of no open frames so far in this game, as we are in the 5th frame in the A matchup, and the B matchup still in the 4th frame as Cullinan converts his spare. 2 spares and 2 strikes for Cullinan through 4 frames.
Now Stefano on the A lane. Lane 6 spinning back toward the left, gets it. And the announcer's jinx doesn't prove to come into factor here.
And Tufano really playing well today. He's really bowling well. As I mentioned, no open frames, 3 strikes, 2 spares. So a good start for him. Is here Schwartz for St. Anthony's A team. That one right on the nose, and it's going to be a ringer. 9 pins for him. Fiorillo for Chaminade's A with a strike of his own as he gets the 1-3 pocket.
And while that was happening right there, Lucas Bridges had a strike on the B lane for the Friars here. Herb with 3 pins left after knocking down 7 in his first turn on lane 8.
For St. Anthony's B team, Anthony Mahoney with 6, and Calabrese for Chaminade's A with a strike. Here's Schwartz looking to convert that spare, and he will, as that ball hooks just enough on the left side, and he picks a 7 pin. For Chaminade's B, Herb trying to convert his spare with 3 pins on the right side. He picks 2 and ends the 5th frame with a 9. Here's Mahoney for St. Anthony's B, trying to convert that split. He's only able to get 3 pins, so he'll end that frame with a 9.
As Stefano leaves the 10 pin remaining. He struggled with that 10 pin today. That's the 2nd time we've seen him not be able to get that one down.
Minotauris for St. Anthony's A gets 7 pins down on his throw. Here's Vlodarchik for St. Anthony's B team, and he also gets 7 pins. 6 pins, as he'll have 4 left on the left side, and Tufano with a gutter ball as he tried to walk the tightrope on the right side, but he wasn't able to. So in the first open frame for Dan Tufano today.
It'll be Basse trying to knock down the final 2 pins on the 8th lane.
As Minotauris does just that, he gets a spare for St. Anthony's A, and Basse converts his spare. Here's Vlodarchik trying to do the same for St. Anthony's B team, and he does. 4 pins knocked down, and a big 4 at that. Lead down to 1 for Chaminade in the B matchup. Flyers lead by 9 in the A matchup as Forte with a strike for St. Anthony's. For Chaminade's B, it's Cullinan with a strike of his own, as the Flyers look to extend their lead. Here's Schwartz for St. Anthony's A. That one hooking left, and he's got the 1-3 pocket. Another strike for Anthony Schwartz.
Alex Fiorello, A-lane for the Flyers, gets a strike.
So St. Anthony's now in the lead in the A matchup by 11 pins, 327 to 316. For the B team, the Friars also lead by 11, 252 to 243.
As
Erb with a strike for Chaminade.
And another strike right there, this time for St. Anthony's A, as Midas Miniteris with the strike.
Here's Calabrese for Chaminade A, looking to combat the strike of Miniteris, and he will just miss it. A ringer at that. The 10-pin stands. As here is Forte. Ball hooking right to left, and that will be a Brooklyn hit. 3 pins left on the right side. Calabrese looking to convert his spare with the 10-pin standing, and that will be a gutter ball. A lot of tightness down the lane there, and Calabrese is not able to convert.
368 to 334 on the A lane. On the B lane, the Flyers leading it 271 to 263. Tofano, lane 6, spinning toward the center, and again leaves that 10-pin remaining.
He's really struggling with that, Tommy, and he has really struggled with it over the last 3 frames, as it has either been the 10 or the 7-pin that has been standing. As for the B team of Chaminade, Basse converts a spare by knocking down 1 pin. Eamon Cullinan will be up, as here is Tufano for Chaminade A, and he knocks down the 10-pin to get another spare. For St. Anthony's B, here's Vladarchik. He converts a spare of his own with 3 pins left on the right side. Cullinan for Chaminade with his throw, and that's going to be 9 pins for Mr. Cullinan, 10. The 10-pin is left, as here's Schwartz again with a strike for St. Anthony's as he celebrates. Fiorillo trying to combat that, and he will have 9 pins on that one.
Can't quite knock that 3-pin. So 1 pin left for the spare for the Flyers. 394 to 371, the Friars lead it on lane A.
Fiorillo looking to complete the spare, and he does, knocking down the pin there. Here's Miniteris for St. Anthony's, looking to get another strike, and he is not able to. That one a ringer. The 2-pin stands.
Bridges on lane B for the Friars, leaves 2. He's got the 2-pin and the 8-pin in the back left.
Erb for Chaminade's B with 9 pins. And the Flyers now lead by 5 pins in the B matchup. In the A matchup, St. Anthony's leads by 20 pins, 412 to 382. In the B matchup, 308 to 303 in favor of Chaminade. Miniteris trying to convert his spare, 1 pin left, and he does, as that one hooks right on the nose and does the job for Midas Miniteris. Here's Fiorillo looking to do the same, and he will.
That was
actually
Matt Calabrese.
Calabrese, my apologies. Here's Forte with the one-handed throw, and he's got another strike. Dom Forte is on his game today for the finals, as on the B side, Erb with a gutter ball. He won't be able to convert his spare, as Anthony Mahoney gets a strike for St. Anthony's B team.
Tofano leaves that 10-pin left again. Now it might be starting to get to his head. That's 3 straight frames where he's not been able to convert on that 10th pin.
For Chaminade's B, it's Basse, and he will leave 3 on his throw. As here's Tufano for Chaminade's A, looking to convert that spare, and he will miss the 10-pin again. Tommy, that has really bugged him today and been a huge problem, especially after that 4th frame.
Yeah, absolutely. The first 2 frames started off right for Tufano with 2 straight strikes. Bounced back on frame 4 with another strike, but since then, that 10th pin has really been a struggle for him.
Speaking of strikes, Schwartz and Fiorillo with strikes for both Chaminade and St. Anthony's on the A line.
Now on the B, it's Basse trying to convert the spare with 3 pins left. Spinning back toward the left, and he gets it.
Here's Vladarchik looking to complete his split. 3 pins on the left, 1 on the right, and he will pick 2 from the left. So Vladarchik will end with an 8 in the seventh frame as Calabrese with a strike for Chaminade. And on the B side, Cullinan with a strike.
Now Tefano looking to complete this 9th frame with 3 straight strikes for the Flyers. Let's see if he can get over his 10th pin struggles.
Chaminade down by 47 pins in the A lane. In the B lane, they trail by 6. Here's Minotauras looking to convert his spare with 3 pins left on the right side, and he does. Here's Tufano, and he leaves that 10 pin again. He is really not being able to get that 1-3 pocket. A lot of ringers for him, especially after the 4th frame. He has struggled with that. He needs a spare here to keep Chaminade in it. Here's Forte for St. Anthony's looking to put it away with a big strike. Hooking left, and Forte got it on the nose. That's 9 pins for him, 10 pin left. Here's Tufano, and he will clean up the spare for Chaminade.
Good job by Tufano to bounce back. As now for Chaminade, on the B lane, it's Chris Erb looking for the spare. 3 pins left. And right down, he actually knocks down one of those pins. So he'll finish with 8 pins on that frame.
As Forte for St. Anthony's A converts his spare. Here's Schwartz for the Friars, and he has 9 pins. That one a ringer. Fiorillo looking for a strike, hooking left, and he's got it right in the 1-3 pocket. Fiorillo has come up big today as he has a strike in the 10th frame.
Brady Basse on the 7th frame, leaves 1.
390, 361 in favor of St. Anthony's on the B lane. Here's Vladarchik with his first throw, and that is not going to produce much. 5 pins left. As here's Schwartz looking to convert his spare. That one hooking left, but he gets the 10 pin to fall. Here's Fiorillo, and on his second throw, he has 9 pins. So he will look to end off game 1 with a spare. Here's Basse for Chaminade's B. Looking to convert his spare, 1 pin standing, and he does the job.
Fiorillo, 1 pin remaining. This is his adding. He got a spare on his 10th frame, so this is to add. And that last shot won't count for anything because his first shot got 9.
And Schwartz for St. Anthony's with a strike to end off his game 1. For the A team, for the B team of Chaminade, Cullinan with a strike in the 8th frame. Here's Calabrese for Chaminade's A. This one hooking left, that one on the nose, but he gets the benefit of the doubt. A strike for Matt Calabrese in the final frame.
So 2 more shots coming up for Matt Calabrese. If he can get a strike here, we'll get a whole new set of pins, which will really factor in for some more points.
And Minotauras with 7 pins on his first throw in the final frame. Here's Lucas Bridges for the B team of St. Anthony's, and he has a strike in the 9th frame.
Erb on frame 9, leaves the 10th pin. It's wobbling, but won't fall for Erb.
418, 391, Chaminade in the deficit in the B matchup. Calabrese looking to get another strike, and he's got 2 in a row in the 10th frame. That's a turkey for Calabrese in the 9th and 10th frame. Here's Mahoney for St. Anthony's B, and he has a strike for the Friars as Minotauras cleans up for the Friars A team with a spare. And he will have 1 more shot in the 10th frame. Erb looking to clean up his spare. That one will be a gunner ball. A lot of tightness down the lane on that one.
Calabrese looking for a 30-point strike here. Spinning back toward the middle. Can't quite get it, but gets 29 points on his last frame.
So Calabrese comes up big, keeps Chaminade within striking distance. They're going to have to get something productive from Dan Tufano as Minotauras ends with a 9 on his last throw.
In the B lane, Chaminade trailing 446 to 401 in the 9th frame. In the A lane, Chaminade trailing as well, 556 to 539 the score. The Friars leading it.
And that's
Dom Forte with the strike on his last frame.
Here's
now
two.
Stefano. A-Lane gets the strike.
That's a big one for Dan Tufano. Keeps Chaminade in this one. 586 to 559 in favor of St. Anthony's. And on the B lane, this is Basse looking to convert his split with 5 pins left standing, and he knocks down 2. As that will be the end of his 9th frame. So here's Forte. 2 more throws for him in game 1. Here's number 1. This one hooking left, and he's got another strike. A big-time throw from Dom Forte. Here's Cullen for Chaminade's B, and that's 9 pins. Tufano looking to answer Forte's strike. This one hooking left, and he leaves the 10-pin again. Oh, man, Tufano is really struggling in game 1 with that 10-pin.
Let's see if he can just knock down this last pin, give himself the 20-point strike on the 10th frame.
As Cullen for Team B of Chaminade gets a spare to end the 9th frame, and now Lane B is in the 10th frame with St. Anthony's leading 447 to 432.
Forte looking for the 30-point strike. A-Lane, and he leaves 2, giving himself 28 points on that 10th frame.
Tufano looking to clean up the spare, and he does. He knocks down the 10-pin. And it looks like St. Anthony's has won the A matchup. And they have 604 to 569, the final score in lane A.
To the B lane here, 10th frame, looking to clean up his spare, 2 pins left. Hasn't had his best of rounds so far with 122. The spare here would help out that total. Spinning back toward the left side of the pin, left pin there, but only knocks down the left pin. Can't quite get the ball to cut back and knock down the 10. So Herb finishes off with a 9 and a 131. Now Brady Basse with 143 on the day.
And this will be Bridges for St. Anthony's B team, looking for a big strike after a spare in the 10th frame. And his last throw will result in 8 pins for him. That's the end of game 1 for Bridges. Here's Basse. 122 so far, the score for him. Looking for a big final frame, and his first throw is going to result in a strike as the 2-pin gets knocked down at the last second. Big time for Brady Basse, looking to have a huge final frame. Chaminade trailing by 33 pins, 484 to 451.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Chaminade to come back. Certainly possible, though, and a big frame out of Basse here would certainly help to that cause.
Here's Mahoney for St. Anthony's B, and that one going to leave 5 on the lanes for Anthony Mahoney.
And that leaves the door open for Brady Basse here with the fresh set of pins. He's got 2 shots left. That will add to his 10th frame score. And leaves the 10th pin. So he won't be able to get over 20. But we'll see if he can close it off with a 20-point strike.
Here's Mahoney looking to clean up this split here, and he will pick out 3 pins from the right side. And that will end his 10th frame. He ends with a 148. And St. Anthony's leads the pin total 500 to 460 in match B. Here's Basse. Looking to end off game 1 with a spare, and he knew he missed that right when he threw it. So Basse with a gutter ball, and he will end with 162.
Vladarchik for the Friars gets a strike on his 10th.
Here's Cullen for Chaminade's B. This ball hooking left, and that one going to be a Brooklyn hit that results in 8 pins. That one in the 1-2 pocket there. So 510 to 476, the score in favor of St. Anthony's.
After a loss for the A team, in the first game. The B team looking to come back.
As Vladarchik for St. Anthony's B gets one pin to fall late, and that's going to be 8 for him on his first throw. As here is Cullinan for Chaminade, and he's not able to convert the split. He'll knock down 1.
That will give the B team for St. Anthony's the win, which gives St. Anthony's a 2-0 lead after the first games of play. Vladarchik with one more shot coming up, but it won't matter because St. Anthony's already in the lead. And he gets 1 on his last shot. 5:19 to 4:77, the final score in the St. Anthony's B lane. And for the A lane, 6:04 to 5:69, St. Anthony's over Chaminade in game 1. 2-0 St. Anthony's.
So
as we'll go to game 2 after this short break.
back from Wantagh Lanes in Wantagh, New York. I'm Thomas Gamba here with Tommy Baldacchino for the second set of games between Chaminade and St. Anthony's. And this Chaminade team, first year not being coached by Coach Terrence Fitzgibbon. Coach Fitz has given over a dynasty of the Chaminade Flyers bowling team over to Coach Gerner and Coach Callanan. And Tommy, why don't you talk about the significance that Coach Fitz had on this program and just the impact he had on the Chaminade Flyers bowling team for such a long time?
Yeah, when Coach Fitz was the coach, Chaminade bowling team absolutely dominated, winning year after year. And now he passes it off to Coach Gerner and Coach Callanan, and they're looking to continue the success as they've been able to do. As for St. Anthony's, Schwartz with the strike.
And for Chaminade on the A lane, Fiorillo starts with a strike in game 2. For St. Anthony's on the B side, Bridges knocks down at 8 pins. Here's Herb trying to get a strike. He knocks down 9 on the ringer. And Minotauris for St. Anthony's A team with 8 pins, 2 pins left standing on the right side.
Matt Calabrese on lane 5, looking for that last pin, but it just stays standing after wobbling. 10th pin remaining for Calabrese. Now, however, or excuse me, I was looking at the wrong scoreboard. As Minas Minotauris with 2 pins standing, looking for a spare as well as Calabrese. Now Herb on lane 7 can't convert on his spare, leaves that 10-pin standing. And a 3-10 split for Minas Minotauris with that spare.
Here's Calabrese for Chaminade. He cleans up the 10-pin. That's going to be a spare for him.
Now Dan Tofano on lane 5. And Dom Forte on lane 6, and Forte gets the strike. Now it'll be Tofano trying to match that. Tofano's ball spinning left, and he gets the strike. Starting off his round nicely.
That's the Jersey strike that I mentioned in the first set of games. Tofano, the right-hander, his ball travels all the way to the 1-2 pocket, but he still gets the benefit of the doubt with that strike as Fiorillo for Chaminade with a ringer. 2 pins will be standing on the right side as for St. Anthony's B, Vladarchik with a strike and Schwartz with a strike for St. Anthony's A team as he celebrates after knocking down 10 pins there.
Here's Fiorillo looking to convert on the spare, and he hits the left of the 2 pins, but somehow doesn't get the right movement and can't knock down that 10 pin. He'll leave the last one standing.
Here's Cullen for Chaminade's B. 5 pins standing for him. He winds, throws, and his throw is going to result in 3. So 7 for him on that frame. As here's Calabrese for Chaminade. That one right on the nose, and he's going to leave 1 pin standing. As here's Dom Forte coming off a Minas Minotera strike for St. Anthony's A team. Forte's ball moving to the left, and that one going to be on the nose. 1 pin will be standing. As for St. Anthony's B, a strike from Lucas Bridges.
Calabrese gets that 9 pin down for the spare. Forte with 1 remaining. Trying to spin that back, but not quite enough spin. Leaves that last pin standing. Dom Forte with 9 on that turn is there's Anthony Mahoney knocking down 7 on lane 7. Tofano for the Flyers on lane 6 gets back-to-back strikes, just like he started off game 1 with back-to-back. He'll be looking for a turkey on his next shot.
Here's Herb for Chaminade's B team looking to clean up his 2 pins, and he does nicely. Right down the middle, right where he had to put it. That's a strike for Herb in the second frame. Here's Andrew Schwartz for St. Anthony's, and he knocks down 9. Fiorillo does the same. 10 pin will stand for Fiorillo, and the 8 pin will stand for Schwartz. In the third frame in the A matchup, the second frame in the B matchup. Here's Brady Basse for Chaminade's B team. Winding, throwing, this one a slow roller, and it's going to knock down 9.
He appeared to release that a little later than he would have liked to. Couldn't quite get the same side spin he was looking for.
Fiorillo ends with an open frame. Here's Schwartz for St. Anthony's, and he knocks down the 8 pin to get the spare.
As Vladarchik also knocks down 9 pins, so he'll be looking for another St. Anthony's spare as Matt Calabrese on the 5th lane gets the strike.
Calabrese, no open frames yet. 2 spares and a strike through 3. Here's Minitaris for St. Anthony's. This one hooking left, and he's going to get the pins to fall. That's a strike for Minas Minitaris, who had a 179 in game 1. Here's Dan Tufano starting off with a turkey for the Flyers, and he has been able to control that 10 pin in game 2. Tommy, we talked about it has been an issue for him in game 1. He's really kept it in check in game 2 as Forte with a strike for St. Anthony's A team.
Dom Forte has been looking amazing right now. Couldn't get that last pin in the second frame, but other than that, 2 strikes, and we saw him get a bunch of strikes in game 1. And a strike for Andrew Schwartz on the A lane for the Friars. That's his 3rd of the game. No open frames for him as well. It's now Fiorillo with 1 pin remaining. That's that 10 pin in the back right corner that we've seen some of the Flyers struggle with today. 1 pin remaining. Let's see if Fiorillo can complete the spare. And he does.
He knew it right when he put it out of his hand. And Fiorillo with a spare, his first of game number 2. As here is Minitaris, and he has 9 pins for St. Anthony's A team. For Chaminade's A team, it is Herb with 7 pins.
That was the B team for the Flyers with the 7 pins for Chris Erb. Matt Calabrese knocks down 9. He has the 7 pin remaining. Minas Minotauras looking to do the same as Calabrese as they both have 1 pin remaining. For Minotauras, it's that 8 pin in the back, spinning back toward it, and he knocks it down for the spare.
So Minotauras, no open frames through 4, 2 spares, 2 strikes, and Calabrese will look to do the same.
Chris Erb, the right hand shot as he knocks down 3 for the spare. Calabrese not quite enough spin on that right to left spinning shot. Can't complete the spare. Dom Forte for the Friars knocks down 9, leaves the 10 pin up.
Forte has really shown up today. Had a 2-14 in game 1, starting off strong in game 2 as Basse for Chaminade B knocks down 9. Here's Tufano for Chaminade A. That's a strike and a 4-bagger for Dan Tufano. What a showing in game 2. Here's Forte looking to convert the spare, and he knocks down the 10 pin. Side switch as we move to the 5th frame. 216, 204. St. Anthony's with the lead in the A lane. Here's Basse for Chaminade B. He knocks down the 10 pin and gets his spare as the score in the B lane 101-94 in favor of Chaminade. Schwartz with 9 pins, Fiorillo with 7 for the A teams of Chaminade and St. Anthony's.
Fiorillo with the tough split coming up. Let's see if he can complete this. He's got that 4 pin remaining, as well as the 9 and as well as the 10 and the 6. Excuse me.
Cullinan with 8 pins for Chaminade B. Here's Fiorillo looking to complete that split, but smartly goes to the right side and knocks down the 2 pins there. He'll end with a 9 and an open frame in the 5th as Schwartz with a gutter ball, and he will end with a 9, not being able to knock down the 7 pin. Here's Cullinan for Chaminade B, winding and throwing, trying to find those 2 pins on the right side, and he'll pick the left one, but not the right. So
Calabrese.
He ends with a 9.
Calabrese on lane 5 with a strike there. Frame 5, lane 5, and 10 pins knocked down.
Here's Minotauras for St. Anthony's A team, and he has a strike. That one right in the 1-3 pocket, and that's the 3rd strike for Minas Minotauras here in game 2.
Dan Tufano with a strike. He's got 5 in a row to start off game 2.
Here's Erb for Chaminade B, and he has 9 pins as Forte is going to have a tough split to convert. 2 pins on the left side and the 10 pin on the right.
He's looking to aim for that left pin to try to get the right pin, the middle pin to sweep over and knock down that right pin. It's going to be a tough shot. Dom Forte has been playing well so far. We'll see if he can complete that shot as Lucas Bridges with there. The spare.
And Dom Forte gets down 1 pin, so he's not able to get the 2 on the left side. He'll end with an 8 in the 5th frame as Erb with a spare for the B lane. And Mahoney with 8 pins on his first throw for St. Anthony. Schwartz with 7 on his first throw of the 6th frame. And Fiorillo with a strike. That one in the 1-3 pocket. Perfect spin. And Fiorillo with another strike.
Here's Basse on the 8th lane. And he knocks down 8 pins, leaving up the 3 and the 10.
Here's Schwartz looking to complete his split, and he will pick out 2 pins right in the middle of the lane and end with a 9 in the 6th.
A good effort there by Schwartz as one of those middle pins just couldn't quite get enough speed on it to knock down that right pin. Matt Calabrese, a tough split coming up as he knocks down 6 on his first shot. He's got the back corner on both sides with 2 pins on each of those sides to knock down.
And he gets 2 pins there as he goes to the right side. Here's Cullinan for Chaminade's B team, and he has a strike. Eamon Cullinan, 25 pins so far. Obviously, the multipliers have not been added up, but a good showing for Cullinan in game one. Cullinan bowled a 184. Here's Vladarchik for St. Anthony's B, looking to convert a tough split with the 7 and the 10 up, and he'll pick the 7. Here's Tufano for Chaminade, looking for another strike, and he's going to leave 3. So the 5 straight strikes to start game 2. That streak will be ended for Tufano, and he'll have to complete a tough split. Here's Forte, looking for a strike, and he's got it in the 1-3 pocket as he celebrates after another 10 pins for Dom Forte.
Forte bringing the energy here at Wantagh Lanes. When he gets a strike, he shows his excitement, getting his team into it.
Score update, St. Anthony's leads the A lanes by 1 pin, 308 to 307, as here's Tufano picking 2 from the left side, and he gives the Flyers the lead, 308 to 311.
I always find it funny when the score jumps from a number like 0, as Tufano had 5 strikes in a row, so it didn't factor in those first 2 frames. And then it jumps all the way up to 145 in 1 frame as Fiorello knocks down all 10 on the 5th lane for the strike.
That's 2 straight, a 2-bagger for Alex Fiorello. Is on the B lane. Herb with 9 pins on his second throw. Mahoney with a spare. And the score on the B lanes, 186 to 172 in favor of St. Anthony's. Here's Andrew Schwartz, and he'll pick 2 on the left side on his second throw. That's 9 for him in the 7th frame. The B matchup is in the 5th frame, as here's Calabrese. Ball moving left, and Calabrese just missed it. 10 pin left standing for Matt Calabrese.
Chaminade takes the lead on the A lanes, 340 to 317. Over on the B lane, Chaminade trailing by 5, 186 to 181. The score as Calabrese on lane 5 knocks down that 10 pin to get the spare.
Minotauris will look to do the same for St. Anthony's. His 10 pin is left standing. He winds and throws this one right near the 10 pin, and he's got it. That's a spare for minus Minotauris, 2 straight for him, and Dan Tufano back on the lanes for Chaminade. He winds and throws here in the 7th frame, and he's got another strike. That's 6 on the day for Dan Tufano, the MVP last year. Bowled a 279 in game 1 against Holy Trinity. And Dom Forte comes back for St. Anthony's and combats with a strike of his own.
Now it's Cullinan. Lane 7 knocks down 8.
Schwartz for St. Anthony's in lane 5. He's got 7 pins and a tough split to convert for him. Fiorello looking for a strike, and he's got it.
A turkey for Fiorello here at Wantagh Lanes.
Here's Cullen for Chaminade's B. 2 pins left on the right side. He winds and throws. This one's set for those 2 pins, but it only knocks down 1. So 9 pins for Cullinan in the 5th frame as the B lanes move to the 6th frame, and Schwartz knocks down 1 out of 3 on lane 5 for St. Anthony's A.
Calabrese on lane 6, knocks down 7. Leaves himself with those 3 pins nearest to the right side to knock down.
Here is Minotauris for St. Anthony's A, and he has 7 pins. Herb for Chaminade's B with 5 on his first throw. Here's Calabrese looking for that spare. 3 pins on the right side, and he has got it. Another spare for Matt Calabrese. A great showing for him today, 110 so far. And in game 1, he bowled a 178.
Quick score update here on the A lane. The Flyers leading at 398 to 376. Over on the B lane, they trail by 10, 214 to 204. The Friars leading it.
Here's Minotauris looking to convert his spare, and he missed 1 pin as the ball hooked a little too much for him on the left side.
Tufano on the 6th lane leaves that 10 pin.
Anthony Mahoney up in the 6th frame for St. Anthony's, as here's Forte, and he's got another strike. That's a turkey for Dom Forte. Here's Mahoney for the B team of St. Anthony's, and he has 7 pins, 3 left standing on the left side. Here's Tufano for Chaminade. He's got a spare. No open frames for Tufano through 8 as the A lanes move to the 9th frame.
Basse with 1 pin remaining on lane 8. For the spare as Fiorello on lane 5 knocks down 9, leaves up the 10 pin.
Here's Mahoney for St. Anthony's B. Had 3 pins left standing, and he wasn't able to knock any of them down. As Schwartz with a strike. That one in the pocket, and he celebrates after that one. So St. Anthony's back in this one, 445 to 419 the score. Here's Fiorillo knocking down the last pin, and that's a spare for him.
Masterful spin on that one, keeping it, hugging the right side, able to keep it out of the gutter.
Here's Vladarchik for St. Anthony's B, and he has a strike. And now Minotauris throws for St. Anthony's A. That's perfect. In the 1-3 pocket, perfect spin, and a perfect amount of 10 pins. That's a strike as Calabrese answers with one of his own for Chaminade. Back and forth we go here at Wantagh Lanes. Chaminade looking to come back from a 2-0 deficit in this one.
Dom Forte on the 6th lane gets a tough split coming up. It's going to be an 8-10.
Here's Cullinan with 2 pins left, and he picks the left one once again. We've seen that a couple times from him, and it's costed him. Here's Tufano for Chaminade's A, a slow roller, and that's going to result in 8 pins on the first throw. The 9 and the 10 are left for him. Here's Forte looking to convert that split. He knocks down the 10, not able to knock down the 8, so 9 for Forte. As here is Lucas Bridges for St. Anthony's B, and he knocks down 6. Herb for Chaminade's B with a throw of his own, a slow roller, and that's going to result in a strike. Chris Herb with his first strike of game 2, and Chaminade trails by 17 pins, 254, 237 in lane B. Here's Tufano for Chaminade. He has a spare. He knocks down the 2 pins on the left side. And the score now 485, 455 in favor of the Flyers in the A lane.
And on the B lane, it's 254 to 237. The Friars leading it as Schwartz on lane 5 knocks down 9, leaves that 10 pin up. Here in the 10th frame, Fiorello knocks down a strike, starting off the 10th frame right for the Flyers, looking to hold this lead. Goes in the gutter for Schwartz's second ball. Can't close that lane.
As Mahoney for St. Anthony's B with a strike in the 7th frame. 267, 249. The score with St. Anthony's leading. Here's Basse looking for the spare, and he's got it as he knocks down 4 on the right side.
Didn't throw that ball too fast, just looking to keep it nice and steady and accurate to knock down all those remaining ones there. As Minotauris with the spare. The strike for the St. Anthony's Friars. Fiorello with back-to-back 10s. Now he just got a chance to convert a 30-point strike here on the 10th frame. Minotauris with his second shot coming up on the 10th after getting a strike in the first one.
5:15, 493 the score, a tight one. Going to be settled by Chaminade's last 3 bowlers and St. Anthony's last 2 bowlers. In the B lane, here's Herb for Chaminade's B, a slow roller, and he's got 9. Here's Minotauris, tightness down the lane, and he's gonna get 8 pins, 2 left standing on the right side. Here's Fiorillo looking for the turkey, and that's 6 pins for him as he ends the 10th frame with 2 strikes and 6 pins. Here's Mahoney in the 8th frame for St. Anthony's B team in the 7th lane, and he's got 9 pins. That one close to the nose, and a ringer as the 10th pin stands.
Minotauris, 2 pins remaining on his last shot of the 10th frame as Calabrese on lane 6 with a strike. His second in a row. Minotauris with the last 2, and he knocks him down. Getting the 20-point strike on the 10th frame, finishing with a 2-0-1 in game 2.
5:41, 5:11 the score. Chaminade leads. Here's Dom Forte, winding, throwing. This one hooking left, but it just hooks a little too much for Forte That's going to result in 9 pins. Is on the B lane. Mahoney with a spare in the 8th frame. St. Anthony's leads the B lane matchup 317 to 301. Here's Calabrese for Chaminade, and he just missed. That one close to the nose. 9 pins for Calabrese. The 10 pin is left for him as Forte with a spare. He knocks down the 10 pin. He'll have a fresh set of pins for his last shot in game 2.
Although Calabrese didn't get, only left 1 pin there, it's going to be costly because now he won't get the fresh set of pins for his 3rd shot, and he can't even complete the 20-point strike, leaving the 10 pin up in lane 6.
So back-to-back 178s for Calabrese bowled in game 1 and 2. Here's Forte with his last shot of game 2, and he has 7 pins. Here's Tufano in the 10th frame, his first shot. Rolling down the nose, and he's gonna get 9 as the 4 pin stands.
Here's Vladarchik looking to complete his spare, and he knocks it down. He'll have They'll move on to the next bowler. Lucas Bridges. Chris Erb, 9th frame. He's getting set to go.
345, 321 the score in favor of St. Anthony's. Here is the aforementioned Bridges, and he has a strike. Here's Tufano for Chaminade. This one hooking left, and he's got the 4 pin down. So Tufano with a spare, a fresh set of pins for him for his last shot, as Chaminade will win the A matchup in game 2. Erb for Chaminade's B with 7 pins. 365, 328 the score. Here's Mahoney for St. Anthony's B, and he's got 8 pins on his first throw.
2-1 the overall score now, as Chaminade has clinched game 2. There's no St. Anthony's bowlers left to throw. Tufano on lane 6 gets 7 on his last shot of the round, finishing with the 219. 585 to 528 the official score. St. Anthony's loses to Chaminade in game 2. Chris Erb can't complete the spare as he leaves 2 up, knocking down only 1.
383, 321 the score in favor of St. Anthony's. This match is going to decide a lot in this game, and it's a big point for both teams. Here's Basse winding and throwing on his first shot of the 9th frame. This one a slow roller, and it's going to cost him. That's 5 pins for Brady Basse, as Vladarchik gets a couple pins to fall late. That's 9 for him. And that is his first shot in the 9th frame. The score now 401, 339 in favor of the Friars.
Brady Basse, a tough split coming up. He's got 5 pins left. A little separation between the 2 pins toward the middle. Throws it down and almost got it. Just leaves 1 pin. A great effort at it.
6 pin left standing there for Basse as Vladarchik gets the 7 to go down. And that's a spare for him in the 9th. Here's Eamon Cullen in the last bowler in the 9th frame for Chaminade. His first throw, hooking left on the nose, but he gets the strike. And a big one at that, 402, 377. Chaminade inching closer, just down 25 pins as we move into the final frame.
There's a turkey for Cullinan, who struggled earlier on in this game, but seemed to find a rhythm now. 3 straight strikes, looking to make it 4 on his next turn in the 10th frame.
As Bridges with 9 pins couldn't get the 4 pin to fall. As here's Erb for Chaminade's B. This one a slow roller, and he gets 9 pins to fall. The 10 stands for Chris Erb.
Erb here on the 10th frame, looking to get this one down. If he can do that, I'll give him a fresh set of pins for his next shot to add to the 10th frame.
And Bridges gets the job done. That's a spare for him. 431, 386 the score. Herb looking to do the exact same thing and get a spare of his own. He winds and fires. This one has tightness down the lane, and he's going to get the 10-pin to fall. A close call, but Herb will get a fresh set of pins for his last throw in game 2.
That tight spin on the right side would allow that to hug that right side, not let that go into the gutter.
Here's Bridges. His last shot of game 2 is a strike. Great end to game number 2 for Bridges, a 163 for him. And the Friars lead at 441, 387.
Bridges with a 20-point spare there to end off. Now Mahoney will go for the Friars, but first Chris Herb with his last shot. And he gets all 10 down for the 20-point spare. Herb will finish with a 136. Flyers still trailing by 44 points. And Mahoney with the strike on his 10th frame.
And a big one at that, Tommy. 461, 397 the score. It doesn't seem very close, but one thing to note, we mentioned that Eamon Cullinan has a turkey going into the 10th frame, so a bunch of multipliers are going to be on for him in the final frame as Basse with a strike for Chaminade. And St. Anthony's, going back to what I was saying, has no guys that have strikes going in to the final frame as Mahoney with a second straight strike in the final frame.
471, 407 the score. Basse, after getting a strike, now has 2 more shots coming up. If he can get another 10 pins down here, it will give him a fresh set of pins, which will be crucial for him, giving him 10 more pins to add to their total.
And Mahoney has the 30-point spare in the final frame. He ends off with a 166, 481, 407 the score.
30-point strike for Mahoney there. Here's the shot by Basse. Can't connect with all 10. Leaves 2 remaining. Now Vladarchuk will leave 3 after getting 7 for the Friars on the 10th frame.
495, 415 the score. Basse, as you mentioned, Tommy, with 2 pins left. It's going to be the 8-pin and the 5-pin for Brady Basse.
Looking for the 20-point strike. Another thing to note, St. Anthony's has Gavin Vladarchuk in the middle of his frame, who's their anchor, while Chaminade still has Basse's shot, which is a spare, and also Cullinan's frame coming up. On the second shot for Vladarchuk, only gets 1, so can't finish off with the spare. Now Cullinan, who has 3 strikes in a row, will bowl on the 8th lane. Knocks down 7 on his first shot. So he's got the 3, the 6, and the 10 remaining.
Going to be a big shot for Cullinan here. He wants those new set of pins. As here it is, tightness down the lane, and he's got all 3. A big shot for Eamon Cullinan. So now 496, 444 the score. Cullinan basically needs a strike here. He winds and fires this one hooking left, and he's got 9 pins. As the 6 stands, and the Friars win the B matchup 496 to 453, and St. Anthony's leads the overall match score by a score of 3-1. So Tommy, going into this one, we've seen some great bowling action from both teams, but why don't you talk about some guys that have really led St. Anthony's to this 3-1 lead?
Dom Forte not only bringing good scores, but also bringing the energy after every strike. You see him go back to his team with excitement, getting them pumped up, getting them into it. And in that score category, Manataris with the 201 there, leading the charge with the best score of game 2 for the Friars. He's going to be important down the stretch as well. So after this short break, We'll be back for game 3, where it will all be said and done here at Wantagh Lanes. Back for the bowling final. As in the A lane, the first throw, or excuse me, the B lane, the first throw for St. Anthony's is a strike by Lucas Bridges. Now Andrew Schwartz to go for St. Anthony's, and Alex Fiorello for the Flyers. Anthony Mahoney, lane 7 with the strike for St. Anthony's, back-to-back for the B team for the Friars. Now Brady Basse will be starting it off.
And Basse with a strike for Team B of Chaminade. So the official score in the match, 3-1. And the current pin total, Chaminade leads the A pin total by 22 pins. And St. Anthony's leads the B total by 75 pins.
A substitution in as Nick Carone in for the Flyers, knocks down 8 on lane 6.
Alex Fiorillo was moved to the B lane and Chris Erb was replaced. As on the B lane here is Cullinan for Chaminade. That's a strike. 3 straight for both teams on the B lanes. And a good start for both squads in the first frame.
Maybe these B teams should be the A teams today, the way they've been playing.
Well, Chaminade now adding a guy like Fiorillo with a lot of firepower and substituting his spot on the A with Carone here, who shows he has ice in his veins with the spare there. And Schwartz comes back and says, maybe I got some more ice. He gets a spare, and Fiorillo for the B team of Chaminade with a strike.
Now Matt Calabrese, lane 6. Right to left spin, hits that middle pin, can't get all of them, leaves 2 on the left side, the 4 and the 7.
Here's Minitaris, and that one hooking left, but it works perfectly for him. The jersey strike for Minas Minitaris as he starts off his first throw with a strike. Here's Calabrese trying to finish off those last 2 pins on the left side, but it hooked a little bit to the left, and he's going to end off with 9 on frame number 1. Here's Forte for St. Anthony's A team. That's a strike, and he shows that enthusiasm that you were talking about, Tommy.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting his team into it as Basse knocks down 8 on lane 7 for Chaminade B.
Here's Mahoney for St. Anthony's A, and he has a 2-bagger to start off game number 3. Here's Tufano. That one hooked a little bit too left, and the 6 pin will stand. Here's Basse for Chaminade. 2 pins left on the red for him, and he converts the spare.
Good job by Basse to get himself a spare there. Still no closed lanes, or open lanes, excuse me, for the Flyers so far on that B lane.
Gavin Vladarchik with 9 pins as here's Cullinan for lane 7 for Chaminade's B, and that's going to be 8 pins. And a score update in the first period out in Brooklyn, New York. Xavier leads Chaminade hockey 1-0 out in the first period in Brooklyn. That one also being streamed on TND Sports with Connor Kuntz and Will Amante on the call for that one. Here's Nick Carone for Chaminade's A team, and that one going to be a slow roller. It results in 9 pins with a 7-pin standing.
Leaves that last pin wobbling, can't quite get it down. As Schwartz with the spare on lane 6. Back-to-back spares for Schwartz. Now Alex Fiorello with a strike on lane 8 for the B team. That's a turkey for him to start off game 3.
Here's Lucas Bridges for St. Anthony's B team. This one hooking left, but not hooking enough, as he will have a bucket left on the left side. Carone looking for another spare. He's got it. And 2 straight spares for Nick Carone to start off his first appearance in this match. As Minitaris with 9 pins. Basse with a strike for Chaminade on the B lane.
Calabrese lane 5, spinning right to left. Can't get a lucky enough break. 3 standing for Calabrese. Minitaris with 1 pin remaining left on frame 2. Had a strike in his first frame, now looking for the spare, and he knocks it down.
Here's Carone for Chaminade. 3 pins left on the right side. A lot of tightness down the lane, and he's not going to be able to convert the spare. That was actually Calabrese for Chaminade, as Mahoney knocks down 8 pins for the B team of St. Anthony's. And here's Forte for the Friars A. This one fast down the lane, and it's going to result in 9 pins, a ringer, as the 4 pin stands. Here's Tufano for Chaminade A. And he's got a strike. Pins fell down at the last second, and Dan Tufano with a spare and a strike to start off game 3. Here's Forte, and he won't be able to knock down the 7. As another score update from Brooklyn, Chaminade has tied the game against Xavier. The score 1-1. Again, that game is on TND Sports Production with Connor Kuntz and Will Amante on the call from Brooklyn, New York.
Carone, lane 6. First shot. Leaves 1 pin remaining. Now Vladarchik on lane 7 gets a strike for the Friars B.
So some really early action here, Tommy, with a lot of pins falling down. Just a couple frames in on the B frame, on the B lanes, excuse me, they're in frame number 4. And on the A lanes, they're in frame number 3. As here's Miniteris with his first throw, and he's got 9 pins. That one a ringer. And pin 8 will stand as Lucas Bridges for the Friars B with a strike. Here's Carone for Chaminade A. He has another spare.
Fiorello, lane 7, looking for his 4th in a row, but he knocks down only 7, leaving a tough split coming up. Matt Calabrese on lane 6, getting ready to go for his shot. Manataris with 1 pin remaining as a strike on the far lane for Gavin Vladarchik.
As Minataris with the spare, that was actually Mahoney with the strike on lane 8, as Calabrese's first throw in the 3rd frame results in 8 pins with the 6 and 10 pin left standing. Here's Forte, this one hooking left on the nose, and it's going to result in 8 down for Forte.
Dom Forte, 2 pin standing. He'll be looking for that in his next shot, but Basse on lane 7 just leaves 1. Couldn't get that 10th pin. Calabrese completes the spare on lane 6.
Here's Forte for St. Anthony's. 2 pins left on the left side, and his throw will not hook enough. Lane 5 has really been stiff as the game goes on. And a tough break for Forte. That one results in 8, as Tufano is going to have a split with the 10 and the 7 and the 9 pin left standing. Here's Basse, 1 pin left, and he's not going to be able to get it, as that ends his 4th frame. Here's Vladarchik for St. Anthony's, and he's going to leave 1, as that will end his 4th frame. Eamon Cullinan gets set for Chaminade's B. He winds and fires on lane 7, this one hooking left, and that is going to result in 5 pins for Cullinan.
A tough split for Tufano, but if anyone could do it, it's the former MVP himself. Just misses the left side of that left pin. He's trying to get that to sweep to the right side and knock down both. Just couldn't come up with it, though. Now the teams will switch lanes as Nick Carone will start it off on the 5th lane for the Flyers.
Schwartz with 9 pins for St. Anthony's. The 9 pin left standing as Carone winds and fires his throw. This one hooking left, and it's going to be a ringer for Carone. 1 pin left standing on the right side. That will be the 10 pin as Carone looks for 4 straight spares to start off game number 3. Here's Schwartz for St. Anthony's. This one right where he needs it to be, and he holds the follow through as he gets the spare.
Fiorello with the strike in his 5th frame for the B team, for the Flyers. And now on the B lane, Lucas Bridges matches that strike for Fiorello with the strike of his own. here in the 5th frame.
And Carone for Chaminad's A team not able to get those 4 straight spares, as Minotauris with 9 pins to start his 4th frame for the A team. Here's Anthony Mahoney, for the B team, and he has a strike for the Friars.
Calabrese gets a strike for the Flyers on the A lane as well. Minotauris looking for the completion of the spare, but he can't come up with it, missing left of the pin.
Score update on both lanes. St. Anthony's B leads Chaminade B 240 to 220 as Basse not able to complete his spare. Here's Forte on lane 6. And that's a strike for Dom Forte as that enthusiasm comes out once again. Here's Tufano for Chaminade, matching that with a strike of his own. The score now 170 to 169. Flyers lead it on the A lane. Here's Cullinan on lane 8 for Chaminade's B. And that's a strike for Eamon Cullinan, his 2nd of game 3.
Now it's Carone for the Flyers. Just leaves that last pin remaining. That's that 6th pin that stood up. Schwartz completes the strike on that one. First shot knocks them all down. Vladarchik looking for that left pin, knocks it down for the spare.
So now on the B lanes, 250 to 231. St. Anthony's leads it in the pin count. 189, 179. The Friars also lead the A matchup. Here's Minotauris with a throw, and that one hooks perfectly to the 1-3 pocket for a strike.
Carone for his spare, just can't come up with it. Too much right to left spin on that one. Now Fiorello with the strike for the Flyers on lane 7.
Here's Forte for St. Anthony's. This one moving left, he's got another strike. Dom Forte has come to bowl here at Wantagh Lanes. That's a 2-bagger for him as Calabrese matches Forte's strike with one of his own.
Back and forth we go here at Wantagh Lanes. Some of the best rounds from these guys coming in the game in the third game, excuse me.
Basse with a strike for Chaminade's B. 261 to 307. St. Anthony's leads that pin count on the B lanes. Here's Tufano for Chaminade's A, and that's going to be 8 pins for Dan Tufano. 219, 215 the score. St. Anthony's with the lead on the A lanes. And now on the B lanes, here's Cullinan. This one is a slow roller, and it's going to result in 7 pins. And another update from Brooklyn, New York. The Chaminade Flyers now lead Xavier by a score of 2-1. Connor Kuntz and Will Amante on the call for that one. Again, that is being broadcasted on TND Sports Production, so definitely go over to that game from Brooklyn.
During that update, Gavin Vladarchik hit a strike for the St. Anthony's B team as Tufano completes the spare on lane 6.
And Cullinan completes the spare on lane 7 for Chaminade's B. The score now 327-281 in favor of the Friars. Schwartz with 8 pins down, he'll have a baby split on the right side. Here's Carone for Chaminade's A. This one a slow roller, and he will have a baby split of his own. This time on the left side as the 7-pin wobbling, but it will not fall. Here's Fiorillo for Chaminade's B, and he's got a strike.
Fiorillo on fire. Has one open frame, and all the other frames he had strikes. He has 6 in game 3.
And a turkey for him as Schwartz completes the spare on lane 6 and gets the St. Anthony's lead up to 12 pins, 239-227. Here's Carone for Chaminade's A looking to complete his split, and he's not able to. He will pick the 5th pin and result with 9 on that frame. As here's Minotauris for St. Anthony's, and he leaves the 7. As Basse for Chaminade's B with a strike. Here's Calabrese for Chaminade's A, and he's got 8 pins, 2 pins left on the left side.
257, 252, the Friars leading it in the A lane. Minotauris with 1 pin left for his spare. On the other side, Calabrese needing 2 for his spare in the 6th frame. Minitaris, here he goes, spinning right to left. Does he have enough on it? Yes, he does, as Minitaris completes the spare. Calabrese for the Flyers. Same idea, right to left spin. Does he have it? Yes, he does.
So Calabrese and Minitaris with 2 big spares. Here's Vladarchik for St. Anthony's B. That's a strike. So 384, 351 the score on lane 7 and 8. Here is Forte for St. Anthony's. That's 5 pins for him. And now Tufano's chance on lane 5. He's got a strike. Dan Tufano up to 86 pins now. Obviously the multipliers have not been set. But the score now 276, 274 in favor of Chaminade. St. Anthony's gets 3 more on lane 6 with Forte. And now here's Schwartz.
Schwartz on the 5th lane, knocks down 9. Got some lucky bounces at the end, a nice bowl.
And Fiorillo on lane 7 for Chaminade's B with a strike. Score over there, 394, 381. As Carone for Chaminade's A knocks down 7, and he will have a split. 1 pin left on the right, 2 on the left. Schwartz looking to complete his spare. He does, as he knocks down the 8 pin and gets the score to 299, 283 in favor of the Friars.
Brady Basse on the 7th lane with the shot coming up. Right to left spin, leaves 2 on the right side. He's got the 3 and the 6 remaining. Carone looking to try out this tough split. Gonna try to at least get those 2 on the left. And he's able to do that, can't get the split.
As here's Minitaris on lane 5 for St. Anthony's A team. This one's spinning left, and that one was on the nose. He's gonna have a tough split. 3 pins left on the right, and the 7 left on the left side. As Basse for Chaminade's B team ends his 8th frame with a spare. 444, 409. St. Anthony's leads the B matchup as Calabrese with 9 pins. The 10 pin will be left standing.
Cullinan on the 7th lane. Can he knock him down? Just misses 2 of them. He's got the 4 and the 8 coming up as Minitaris with the spare on that one.
A huge split converted by Minitaris, and you just look at the enthusiasm of St. Anthony's. They knew that was a big shot as Calabrese converts his spare. Here's Forte with a strike to get a big shot there. 325, 304 the score in the A matchup.
Even Dan Tufano, a Flyer, smiling at the enthusiasm showed for St. Anthony's. Is now Tufano the next to pull for the Flyers A. Just leaves 1 pin. That's the 4 pin on the left side. Oh, excuse me, that's the 4 pin.
Score on the B lanes as they approach the 9th frame, 444, 429. Here's Alex Fiorillo for Chaminade. His first throw is a strike, and a big one at that, as the Flyers really need a win on the B lane.
Fiorillo.
That's 5 straight strikes for Alex Fiorillo. He's been so hot today. 1 open frame through 9.
And 8 overall strikes in his 9 frames. Absolutely dominating the B lane, looking to contribute to that total points as Tufano completes the spare for the A team.
So now on the A lanes, 325, 324 is the score as Basse for Chaminade's B with 8 pins. Here's Schwartz for St. Anthony's A on lane 6. He's got a strike as he celebrates with a strike there. 345, 324 the score. Here's Carone for Chaminade's A. This one hooking left, but not enough. As 2 pins are left standing, the 1 and the 2 pin. Basse trying to complete his spare. He's got it for Chaminade's B team.
Mandasaris looking for the strike, leaves the 10 pin up. Now Carone's got 2 middle pins, looking to complete the spare.
As Mahoney with 9 pins for St. Anthony's B, the score on lane 7 and 8, 489, 477. Here is Cullinan with a strike for Chaminade's B, and Carone with a spare for Chaminade's A. Minotera's looking to combat that. He does as he knocks down the 10-pin and struts back to his seat.
364 to 334. St. Anthony's leading in the A lane as Calabrese with his first shot leaves the 10th pin up. 497 to 491, the score in the B lane. Forte leaves one pin standing on his first shot. Calabrese looking to complete the spare as that 10 pin remains. And he knocks it down, hugging the right side.
Frames in both of these games. Chaminade really needs to win both games or else it looks like St. Anthony's will be your champion as Forte knocks down the spare. Coming into this one, the B team for Chaminade was down in pin total by 75 pins. And it's going to be tough for them to come back and win by that amount as Tufano with a strike for Team A.
Wlodarczyk on lane 7, knocks down 2 of 3 on the tough split. Look at the total pin score on the A lane. The Flyers leading with 1,527 points to St. Anthony's 1,516 points. As Schwartz gets a strike for the Friars. And Carone can knock down only 6 on his first shot.
And he's going to leave a bucket there on lane 6. On lane 8 for St. Anthony's, Bridges with a strike. Fiorillo looking to answer, and he does on lane 7.
What an incredible round out of Fiorillo. 9 strikes.
And Tommy, remember, the score on the scoreboard, 527 to 526 in favor of Chaminade, but all those multipliers have not been added for Fiorillo. So this one could really be a big game out of Alex Fiorillo for the B squad, as Carone with a big spare as he knocks down that bucket. Here's Minotars for St. Anthony's, and he misses the 10-pin. So Chaminade with a big swing there. Here's Fiorillo, another strike. What a game out of Alex Fiorillo. That's a 6-bagger for him as he looks to get a 30-point final frame for the B team. Here's Calabrese for Chaminade's A, and he has a ringer. That one in the 1-3 pocket, but the 10-pin stands. Here's Forte. This one hooking left, and he gets the strike as the 10-pin falls at the last second. Bridges for St. Anthony's B with a strike in the final frame. Here's Fiorillo, and he is going to get 9 to end off his day.
A 29-point strike in the 10th frame. Fiorillo, a 262. And that increases the Flyers' overall pins by a large amount. 556 to 546 now, the score.
So both teams have 2 bowlers. Chaminade has 1 more throw as Andrew Mahoney threw a 9 on his first attempt. Here's Tufano on lane 6 for Chaminade's A. Big shot, he's got the strike. And that will end frame number 9 as we move into the final frame. 428, 442, St. Anthony's leads it. Here's Basse for Chaminade, that's a big time strike to start off his 10th frame. Mahoney looking to get the spare, he's got it, and a fresh set of pins for his final shot in game 3.
Now on the A lanes, Carone with a fresh set of pins for his first shot on the 10th frame.
This place is in silence here. Here's Carone on lane 5, and the slow roller amounts in 7 pins for Nick Carone to start his final frame. Here's Basse on lane 7 for Chaminade's B. His throw, a slow roller, and it's going to result in 8 pins as the 8-pin wouldn't fall down. It's going to be a split for Brady. Basse as Schwartz with a big strike on lane 6 for St. Anthony's.
The silence in this building starting to get loud. You could hear a pin drop in this place.
Here's Carone looking to get rid of those 3 pins. He does. That's a spare and a fresh set of pins for Anthony Carone.
Now Schwartz makes it a 20-point strike and now another set of pins so he can add to it, potentially make it a 30-point strike on the 10th frame.
Here's Basse on lane 7 looking to complete that split. He won't. He'll just take out the right pin and end his day with a 182 on game 3.
Here's Carone, 10th frame. Last shot gets 5 down.
As Vladarchik on lane 8 gets 9 down on his first throw of the final frame. 585, 583 the score. Cullinan up next for Chaminade's B. And remember, he had a strike in his 9th frame, so a multiplier will be coming up for him. Here's Schwartz for St. Anthony's with a strike. That's 2 straight in the 10th frame and a chance for 30 on the final frame.
Here's Cullinan, 7th lane, and he knocks them all down with a strike in the 10th frame.
Here's Calabrese. Lane 5, and Calabrese gives it to them. Big time for Matt Calabrese to score 502, 470. Here's Minotaurs for St. Anthony's with his first throw of the final frame. That's going to result in 9 as Chaminade gets a big break with that 10-pin left standing.
And now the Flyers have officially sealed the B lane with the win. Now they're just looking for overall pin totals as Cullinan with 2 more shots coming up on lane 7. The first one of those 2 is knocked all down.
As Minotaurus finishes up his spare, and he'll have 1 more shot. Here's Calabrese with his 2nd shot in the 10th frame. That's another strike. Matt Calabrese has come up to play in the final frame when Chaminade has needed it. 512 to 480 the score. Here's Minotaurus, his last shot of game 3. That's a strike. So Minotaurus ends with a 170.
St. Anthony's in the A lane with an overall pin total lead of 20 pins. Here's the last shot by Cullinan when he knocks down 8.
Let's go, Matt, let's go!
And Matt Calabrese gets the 30 point. Dan Tufano with 1 turn coming up for the Flyers. The B lane has come to an end, 633 to 583 as Forte with the spare. The overall pin total was won by St. Anthony's in the B lane. Important to note there, it's another point for them. So the score now is 4-2 St. Anthony's.
Here's Forte in lane 6. He's got 8 pins.
If St. Anthony's can get 1 more point, they will seal this finals for them as Tufano knocks down all 10 with the strike on the 10th frame. He's going to need 3 strikes in a row to tie this one up. For the overall pins, all he needs is 8 more, but that will do him no good if he can't tie it up.
The biggest shot of the season here for Tufano. He winds and fires on lane 5. This one hooking left, and he's got the strike. Big time from Dan Tufano, the MVP last year.
Keeps it alive.
550, 540. Again, those multipliers have been added. Tufano is going to need 10 pins here to tie it at 550.
Silence in this building. The only noise we can hear is over from the girls' bowling championship.
Tufano winds and fires this one hooking left. He's got the 1-3 pocket, and it's all tied up at 550.
So the overall pin total is what it's going to come down to now. It's a tie game. Now the Flyers.
So after that round, it's going to be 3. Whoever wins if Chaminade wins 3 out of 3 pin totals, they will be the champions. Also, they can win 2 out of 3 and be the champions. St. Anthony's needs to win 2 out of 3 to be champions as well. So there could also be a tie here between both teams. So this one gonna come down to final pin total. And it looks like St. Anthony's has won. No official word yet, but it seems like the Friars have taken this one.
The Friars had that total pin numbered to their advantage, giving them the 5th point, so that tie will not end up mattering. So the St. Anthony's Friars win it in a really close one down the stretch.
And they win it 5-3. What a year for the Friars. And Tommy, so many guys that you can compliment, especially today. Why don't you just go through the amazing performances from St. Anthony's that led them to be champions and take down the mighty Chaminade?
Really, all 3 guys on that A team dominated. You know, a terrific final round out of Andrew Swartz, capping it off with that 30-point strike on the 10th frame, finishing with the 215. But really, everybody on the squad. Saw Forte getting everybody into it. Minas Manataris, 3 solid performances out of him. For the Flyers, a terrific fight out of them. Matt Calabrese with that 30-point strike on the 10th frame, and Dan Tufano with another 30-point strike on that 10th frame. If neither of those guys did that on that 10th frame, it wouldn't have tied, which didn't end up mattering, but still just shows the willingness to put all their effort into this game. Get it done when it counts most. Just fell short. St. Anthony's a well-deserved championship win. Here today at Wantagh Lanes, a terrific match between 2 dominant bowling squads. Terrific performance out of both of these teams.
And now let's talk a little bit about Chaminade. They had a great season, comes to an end with a loss in the championship, but let's talk about some guys who really just performed super well as St. Anthony's celebrates here. They just got the official word that they have won the NSCHSAA championship. Tommy, talk to us a little bit about Chaminade's season.
Chaminade's been dominating all year long, and they've managed to win a 9-0 game against Holy Trinity yesterday to get them here. Looked like they had all the momentum riding in. They just couldn't get it done today. A very close game, and the effort out of them all season long has been absolutely incredible. Just fell short in a tight one.
And you got to highlight some guys, Tommy. Dan Tufano, unbelievable performance in this championship game yesterday and all season. Tufano with a 216 in the final game, a 219 in game 2, and a 185 in game number 1. He really showed up as the game went on, and he really led Chaminade throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan Tufano, what a player all season long. As you mentioned, won MVP last year, and a terrific performance. That effort at the end with those 3 straight. So give him a 30-point strike. I mean, you can't match that. Like, to be able to do that when it matters most, he deserves the win, but this team just couldn't come up with it. Phenomenal effort out of them.
And what a great career for Dan Tufano at Chaminade. Obviously, as you mentioned, won the MVP last year. And now with a great performance in the championship. Yesterday, he bowled a 279 in game 1 against Holy Trinity. As the St. Anthony's Friars continue to celebrate. Coach Gerner talking it over with the Chaminade Flyers to the right of your screen. As both teams, what an amazing year. And St. Anthony's with the win today, 5-3, even though the game was tied at 550. The A team, game number 3. So St. Anthony's continues to celebrate. Coach Steven Massimillo pumping up his team as he gives them the championship speech, and Dom Forte celebrating with his team, talking things over, and recapping a great year from St. Anthony's. Both teams saying their last messages as we await the trophy presentation, and it seems like it will happen in moments. Chaminade, we look at their huddle now. Obviously, tough way to end things off, Tommy, but we mentioned it. They have they had a great season, and they're going to have a lot of great pieces going into the future. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Coach Gerner took over coaching the bowling team. This is his first year coaching the bowling team after Coach Terrence Fitzgibbon left as the bowling coach and gave the reins to Coach Gerner and Coach Callahan, but tough way to end the season for Gerner and the Flyers, but he did a great job coaching all season and really led this team throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Terrific season out of these Flyers. They have a bright future to look ahead of, too, as we saw Alex Fiorello with that 262 over on the B lane after getting switched out to try to help out the total pin total for the B team. Didn't work out, though, despite his terrific performance. And they'll have him for another year as a junior. Chris Erb, another junior on this squad. They've got some bright pieces on this team to look forward to.
And some guys that haven't bowled that are also pretty good on the practice lanes. Kieran Hickes didn't get an opportunity in the playoffs, but he has shown himself as a pretty good bowler, especially on the practice lanes. Other guys like Michael Cohen and Michael Deal coming up as rising juniors next year as the trophy presentation is now happening. As the runner-up plaque has now been awarded to the Chaminade Flyers, Dan Tufano will go to receive it, and this will be the last, possibly the last award he will be receiving in his bowling career. As Lucas Bridges will win the game MVP for the St. Anthony's Friars. Bridges in 3 games today bowled a 211, 163, and a 201, so he will receive the championship honors. As some other awards will be handed out. As the Coach of the Year will be handed to St. Dominic's bowling coach, Mike Dorda. He will receive the honors and the plaque as he shakes hands and takes the plaque. as the Sportsmanship Award has just been handed out. And the regular season champion has also been handed out. Coach Greg Gerner will go to receive that as Chaminade won that honors. Just an update from Brooklyn, New York. Xavier leads Chaminade 4-2 in the second period. Tune into that one after the conclusion of the trophy presentation. Again, Connor Kuntz and Will Amante on the call for that one, as Alex Fiorillo will receive an award. As Dan Tufano will receive the high average plaque. There's another award to his trophy case. The high series being awarded to Kellenberg, one of their bowlers. Still many awards to be handed out here at Wantagh Lanes. Thanks for staying tuned in a great day of bowling and an exciting one with St. Anthony's being the champion. And it seems like their championship plaque will be handed out. And the plaques for the players of the championship team will be handed out to each player here. Well, Darchik coming to receive his, Minotaurus, and many others receiving their awards. As Andrew Schwartz now receives his award, one of the top bowlers today. And the final award given to St. Anthony's, Dom Forte. What a performance for Forte today. He led this team to the championship, as now one of the final awards being handed out, the championship award to the Friars. As Dom Forte and Andrew Schwartz will go to receive the championship plaque. St. Anthony's Friars have taken it home.
Well-deserved victory, a long season.
As now the final award will be handed to the St. Anthony's coaching staff, head coach Stephen Massimillo and assistant coach Kyle Flanagan, as they pose for a picture. The Friars are your NSCHSAA champions, and actually one more award will be handed out. And the Player of the Year award will be handed to Dan Tufano in his senior year. And the award ceremony has concluded. The St. Anthony's Friars are your NSCHSAA Boys Bowling Champions for the 2023-2024 bowling season. For Tommy Baldacchino, I'm Thomas Gamba. We say so long from Wantagh Lanes. Thanks for listening in. St. Anthony's are your champions.